You have no idea. Boy. Okie dokie then. Oh, hello. This is going to be hopefully a pretty quick review of the new Genesis Owusu album, Struggler. As always, if you like the video, it would mean the world to me if you liked it. And if you want to see my mug pop up again and again in your feed, then you'd better press that bloody button that subs you up. We only have a finite time together on this planet. I just think it really matter a lot to me if you just stuck this video out. Struggler is the second full-length album, I guess you could say the sophomore release, doing a lot of those at the moment, of the latest Australian rap and pop export, Genesis Owusu. This thing has landed via OURNESS Records, and I can safely say that this album truly does feel like the spiritual successor to his last full-length album. And that feeling hit me almost instantaneously on the opener, Leaving the Light, which features these racing synth arpeggios, a punchy new wave beat, and Genesis coming through with an emphatic shouted chorus. Leaving the light! The use of metric modulation is a smart way to vary up the rhythm of this song too, given how stark it is for a majority of its runtime. The Roach is so icy and atmosphere rich, it feels like I'm taking an early morning walk in the middle of a winter fog. The ghostly reverb-soaked vocals on the chorus contribute a lot to the vast helplessness that the lyrics are trying to convey. Though I do think, for as up-tempo as this track sounds, that it lacks a noticeable punch. It's just so airy and wavy, it gets lost in its own haze. Just a little bit. Yeah, aren't we all getting lost in our own haze? The Old Man continues this new wave sonic direction with a bellowing chorus talking about how there is an unseen malevolent force in the sky just ready to destroy this man's life, preying on this man's downfall. It becomes pretty clear as the song progresses that the old man he's referring to is most likely God himself, hinting at parallels to biblical stories like the Book of Job, guy suffering, God making him suffer to test him, all that sort of stuff. These allusions continue to pop up as the album progresses as well. But either overtly or, what's the opposite of overtly? Covertly. Musically, it is a bit of a more of the same moment, and I do wish Genesis's vocals had a bit more bite and presence to them, but I do have to mention the awesome climax that this track builds towards. Some intense fills accelerate the song's sense of momentum quite nicely. See you there! Is the album's first taste of the dreamy neo-soul side of Mr. Genesis. It also pops up in the second half of the track That's Life, a Swamp, and the closing track Stuck to the Fan. Lyrically speaking, See You There is another thematic continuation from the previous song. It's like the old man was successful in completely ruining this guy's existence, and now as punishment for losing the battle, he's being damned to an eternity of more suffering. It's a bleak turn of events. The milky bass lines and chiming keys offer a sense of acceptance for our character. They know their fate, and they're totally calm about it. It's sensual, it's nocturnal, it's groovy, baby! Tied Up is an insanely funky piece of dance pop. Pronounced slap bass pairs seamlessly with fragmented bits of sour guitar. The sultry chorus is about as irresistible as it gets. I can't get enough of how endlessly groovy this song is. Groovy, baby! The aforementioned That's Life, a Swamp goes for a two-parter. The straight-up disco of the first half features some ear-grabbing bits of percussion, jerky keys and guitars, a driving four-on-the-floor groove. Owusu's falsetto is just the pièce de résistance. A seamless transition presents us with the slightly tropical second half. Some staccato roads, halftime grooves, a relatively understated vocal performance, but still a pretty memorable refrain on this one. The punky new wave bangers keep coming on the sinister rager that is BALTHAZAR. The way the bass is played, the overall chord progression, the tempo, even the vocal melody, for some reason, it's all reminding me of the song Damaged Goods by Gang of Four. I think it's even in the same key too, which would make sense. Love this one too. Delightfully devilish, Seymour. More biblical references on this one, namely the title of the song, which, according to Western Christianity, refers to one of the Magi who visited baby Jesus and gifted him with the expensive gum resin Take from that what you will. Some very apocalyptic imagery coming through as well, specifically on the chorus, and it's a great one. And Stay Blessed hits us with yet another driving piece of synth punk and new wave with a hook that is just made for the mosh pit. Lyrically, it's a very hopeful and forward-looking song. Genesis has been battered by life's tribulations, but he's essentially still finding a way to persevere ahead. And what comes will come angles for this same level of inner peace, despite this incessant suffering that life has offered. Musically speaking, it's a pretty low-key piece of alternative hip-hop with some snappy beats, grainy organ, and resonant sub-bass. It gets absolutely gorgeous in its final moments as like a breakbeat is ushered in, and we get these rushes of angelic harmonies and organ chords just flooding the mix. It all has this real sense of finality to it, though we are not finished just yet, because Stuck to the Fan saves one of the best for last, in my opinion. This is a beautiful sentiment and vibe to end such a turbulent project on. It's another creamy piece of neo-soul, packed with cumbersome grooves, gently descending keys, buttery vocals. It's nocturnal, yet still full of fertile spirit, if that makes sense. This is the true moment where Genesis can finally breathe and start healing. He now has an anchor point in his life, whether it be a lover or a good friend who can just, bring him back to earth when he's starting to lose his bearings. And that about sums it up. This album really hones in key elements of his previous release. The synthy new wave and post-punk, the glorious neo-soul, and really makes that a lot of the musical focal point. As a result, this LP feels much more focused. There's a clear direction, a clear story, and it has a strong handle on how it wants to come across to the listener. No, it's not necessarily as stylistically ambitious as its predecessor, but it is slightly more mature, maybe a little bit reserved, but still 100% sure of its abilities. With that, I'm giving this thing an 8.5 out of 10. Another banger! You know what time it is. I think it's almost like a routine now. I think it's I always know to expect it, but it still also kind of annoys me every time it happens. Come on. Hey, babe. While I'm here, I guess I'll just do the rub down again. If you like this album, do let me know. And if you didn't like it, then, well, I don't know, that's your loss then. Don't forget all the shite I said at the start. Liking and subscribing and commenting. As you millennials would say, it would make me big happy. Dogecoin, I don't know what you guys are into. No, you hang up. Fucking hang up, dude! Idiot. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Stick around for more silly Billy content like this. I'm on crack today. Okay, no, seriously, go home now. We're done. Bye.